Om Sai Ram. This is the story of Baba grinding wheat from Saicharitra, chapter 1, written by Hemat Pant. It was sometime after 1910 AD that Hemat Pant one fine morning went to the masjid in Shirdi for getting a darshan of Sai Baba. He was wonderstruck to see the following phenomenon. After washing his mouth and face, Sai Baba began to make preparations for grinding wheat. He spread his sack on the floor and thereon set a handmill. He took some quantity of wheat in a winnowing fan and then drawing up the sleeves of his kafni and taking hold of the peg of the handmill, started grinding the wheat by putting a few handfuls of wheat in the upper opening of the mill and rotated it. Hematman thought what business Baba had with the grinding of wheat when he possessed nothing and stored nothing, and as he lived on alms. Some people who had come there thought likewise, but none had the courage to ask Baba what he was doing. Immediately, this news of Baba's grinding wheat spread into the village, and at once men and women ran to the masjid and flocked there to see Baba's act. Four bold women from the crowd forced their way up and pushing Baba aside, took forcibly the peg or handle into their hands and singing Baba's leelas, started grinding. At first, Baba was enraged, but on seeing the women's love and devotion, he was much pleased and began to smile. While they were grinding, they began to think that Baba had no house, no property, no children, none to look after, and he lived on alms. He did not require any wheat flour for making bread or roti. What will he do with this big quantity of flour? Perhaps, as Baba is very kind, he will distribute the flour amongst us. Thinking in this way while singing, they finished the grinding and after putting the handmill aside, they divided the flour into four portions and began to remove them one per head. Baba, who was calm and quiet up till now, got wild and started abusing them, saying, "Ladies, are you gone mad? Whose father's property are you looting away? Have I borrowed any wheat from you so that you can safely take the flour? Now, please do this. Take the flour and throw it on the village border limits." On hearing this, the women felt abashed and whispering amongst themselves, went away to the outskirts of the village and spread the flour as directed by Baba. I asked the Shirdi people, what was this that Baba did? They replied that as the cholera epidemic was spreading in the village and this was Baba's remedy against the same, it was not wheat that was ground, but the cholera itself was ground to pieces and pushed out of the village. From this time onward, the cholera epidemic subsided and the people of the village were happy. I was much pleased to know all this, but at the same time, my curiosity was also aroused. I began to ask myself, what earthly connection was there between the wheat flour and cholera? What was the casual relationship between the two, and how to reconcile them? The incident seems to be inexplicable. I should write something on this and sing to my heart's content Baba's sweet Leelas. Thinking in this way about this Leela, my heart was filled with joy, and I was thus inspired to write Baba's life, the Saicharitra. And as we know, with Baba's grace and blessing, this work was successfully accomplished. Apart from the meaning which the people of Shirdi put on this incident of grinding wheat, there is, we think, a philosophical significance too. Sai Baba lived in Shirdi for about 60 years, and during this long period, he did the business of grinding almost every day, not, however, the wheat alone, but the sins, the mental and physical afflictions, and the miseries of his innumerable devotees. The two stones of his mill consisted of karma and bhakti, the former being the lower and the latter the upper one. The handle with which Baba worked the mill consisted of jnana. It was the firm conviction of Baba that knowledge or self realization is not possible unless there is the prior act of grinding of all our impulses, desires, sins, and of the three gunas, namely sattva, raja, and tama, and the ahamkara, which is so subtle and therefore so difficult to be got rid of. This reminds us of a similar story of Kabir, who, seeing a woman grinding corn, said to his guru Nibatni Ranjana, "I am weeping because I feel the agony of being crushed in this wheel of worldly existence like the corn in the handmill." Nibatni Ranjana replied, "Do not be afraid. Hold fast to the handle of knowledge of this mill as I do, and do not wander far away from the same, but turn inward to the center, and you are sure to be saved." Both to Sri Sai, peace be to all. Please subscribe the channel for the full playlist. Om Sai Ram, Jai Sai Ram, Jai Jai Sai Ram.